Yo, family, what's going on? It's Nico Fleeks. Today we got a video about a guy who's talking about the ins and outs of modern dating. Woo! There's got to be a good one today. Let's check it out.
There's a bitter pill that a lot of guys out there have a hard time swallowing, but this is important information. If you understand this, I should say the guys that do understand this and they accept it and they get out there and push forward, they do just fine. But the guys that don't understand this, they get destroyed. They get chewed up and spit out. And that is that if you're out there dating, now this may not hold true for people that are in marriages. A lot of times it does hold true in marriages, but if you have a healthy long-term relationship, it may not apply to you. But if you're somebody that's out there dating and trying to meet new people, it definitely applies to you. Anyways, and I don't know why every guy is consciously aware of this, but 90% of guys are subconsciously unaware of this. They choose to be unaware. They choose to turn a blind eye. But anytime you're dealing with an issue where a woman is ghosting, flaking, playing hard to get, I'll put it like this. When I was 29 and I experienced single life for the first time, I got out of a 9-year relationship. I didn't know what it was like. Social media was here. Dating apps were here. It was different. And I would meet women, and a lot of times they would play this little cat and mouse game, right? They would be interested in talking and texting, but I had a hard time getting them to meet up, and eventually they would usually be down with it. Maybe it'd be like a late on a Saturday night, they would just hit me up and want to come over. But eventually they would get over it and they would want to hang out. And I would credit myself. I would say, well, it must be my game. It must be my amazing looks. Somehow I won her over, right? But that was blue-pilled. That was stupid. That wasn't the case at all. The truth is, she already had a man when I met her. Now, maybe they were in a...
Yup, that's the thing, guys. Boom. That's the hot point right there. Guys, when you go out to the bar, or to the club, or any social outing, and there's women there, there's women involved, all the good things along with it, guys, all of those females are taken. There ain't no such thing as a female that's single. Nope, it does not exist. All females have a man that they're entertaining, and the man probably does think that that's his girl. The man thinks he's in a relationship. Man, the women always got their head on a swivel. They always peek at seeing who might be a better option for them. Listen, women are hypergamous by nature, meaning they're always seeking the man that is actually higher than them in every single metric possible, right? So, for example, they're seeking a guy that's taller, richer, better looking, smarter, better communication, better everything. These women, they want you as a man to be better than them in every single metric. So when they're with the man, it don't even matter, bro. These women are always looking at themselves as if they're single. Let's carry on. This guy's dropping gems.
A real relationship. Maybe they were married. Maybe they were in a real relationship. Maybe it was just some guy that was taking her out once or twice a week. But in his mind, that was his lady. And he was putting effort into being with her. He was really trying to make something happen. I knew nothing about the guy. There's always another guy in the picture. And when you enter the picture, when a woman's playing hard to get, when she's ghosting, when there's a cat and mouse game going on, usually it's because she finds you attractive and she's looking for the right moment to sneak away and try you out. And if she
And the way he puts it sounds so harsh. The way he puts it, it sounds so conniving, so malicious. However, it's just the way the game is, These women will continuously keep their heads on a swivel. They are never happy. They're never satisfied, gang. Listen, these women don't really finally chill out until they hit about 35 years old, right around that geriatric pregnancy age, right around the time when it's actually dangerous for them to have offspring. They don't chill out until then. So from the point when they're 16 years old all the way up until they're about 34 years old, bro, that's when they're hot in the a-hole, bro. I'm talking about they're going to be looking left and right, everywhere, trying to find the best optimal partner for them. It never works out for them in their favor. It never does.
has a good time with you and you have a good time with her, she'll delete his number and she'll move on to you. They call this monkey branching. I don't like to call it monkey branching because that makes it sound like it's something that's strategic, like they're consciously aware of, but in reality, they're just following their feelings. That's what dating is. Guys, dating is not you find your holy virgin woman and you take her out, you pick her up in the horse and carriage and you take her out with a bouquet of roses that you greet her with and take her to a nice fancy restaurant and a walk on the beach, a walk in the park. And she looks at you and tells you how sweet you are and how great of a guy you are. And,
nope, that doesn't
that's not the
exist.
way it works, right? This is
That doesn't
dating.
exist.
Dating means they're seeing other people. Point blank. The reason why this can be an issue is because a lot of guys out there are either afraid to compete or they're disgusted by the thought of having to compete. And they go into each situation blue-pilled. They go into each, there's a new scenario, a new woman they've met on Tinder, a new woman they've asked out at their gym or whatever, and they start talking to her. And they realize, she seems hesitant. What's going on here? And then they do a little bit of investigating and they find out there's some other guy in the picture. And they're...
See, that's the thing. Guys don't really want to compete. It's this disgusting feminism age that we live in, right? That has brought men out of their comfort zone. That has brought men outside of the natural order, all right? We've deviated so hard from the natural order to the point where we literally feel uncomfortable dating these modern women because they're talking to a million other guys. So it's like we can't even just sit down and tell a girl that we really care about or, see promising or actually look at as if she's not just a 304. Like we actually look at her like an actual human being. We can't just look at her and tell her, hey, this is just me and you. This is exclusive. I don't want you seeing other guys. Because it's like, at this point, in this day and age that we live in, you cannot tell a woman, hey, this is just me and you. We exclusive. I don't want you seeing no other guys. No other dinglings need to be entering you. Why? Because these women have way too many options, bro. I don't care if you're Brad Pitt. I don't care if you're Denzel Washington, Chris Brown. I don't care who you are, bro. LeBron James. I don't care who you are, bro. It's never enough for these modern chicks, bro. They're always looking for something better, all right? And after this video, I'm going to take myself to the gym, and I'm going to do a car video going a little bit deeper. I'm going to do my own version of the truth about modern dating, the Nico Fleeks version. And I'm going to tell y'all the real nitty-gritty. I like the way this guy's breaking this stuff down, but there's certain things that I really want to nitpick at and just get it out the way. There is certain echelons to the dating stuff. However, when you realize what you're dealing with, you don't even want to go back because you'll look at most of these modern chicks, most of these modern women. If you see their DMs, you will be disgusted. You will say, you know what, I'm not going to compete. Why? Why compete? I don't care if you're 6'6", a millionaire, you got a 30-inch dick. I don't care what you got, bro. It's not enough. It's just not. Let's see what he's got to say, though.
Devastated. They're heartbroken. They're like, well, how could she do this? Why wouldn't she just be honest with me? That's the game. It's competition. But the thing about it is, the other guy is like, he's not solid. He's not firm on the seat. She's looking for somebody else. She's entertaining other people, and you're one of the people that she's entertaining. We always hear these things like men are the disposable ones out there in dating, and it's very true. Men pursue women, they bend over backwards, they break their backs for women, do anything they can to try to win the woman over. Women can just swap you out.
That's called simps. Simps. We need to outlaw simpery. Like, just all actions of simpery needs to be outlawed. Because let me tell you something, bro. You are destroying the civilization of mankind being a simp. You're boosting these women's ego way up too high, bro, to the point where the natural order is starting to be disturbed. Simping for these women, bro, is not your natural place to run behind a woman, always cater to her every single need, like actually neglect your own needs. How can you call yourself a man when you neglect your own needs for a woman? How? You think that she'll like you better? A woman will never like you better or more or deeply just because you give her everything she wants. Just because you treat her well. Just because, oh, I do everything she asks me to do. I do this for her. I buy her gifts. I take her out on dates. I buy her flowers. Simp. Super simp, bro. These women will not like you more for doing those things, bro. Especially these modern women. These modern women, their egos are so high, but their actual security is low. They have low security, bro. They are insecure as hell, bro. More than ever. Don't let this stuff fool you, bro. These women are living outside of their natural order. These modern women are not secure at all, gang. So you think treating her well is going to get you in the door? Oh, wrong. No, that's not how it goes, bro. I'm not saying to treat the girl like garbage. I'm not saying, degrade the girl or make her feel less than. No. But what I'm saying is don't pander to her. Don't always be running after her and stuff like that. Treat her like a human being that she is, bro. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, bro. Have you ever had a conversation with a modern woman, bro? You know what I mean? They're not that amusing. They're not funny. They don't say anything interesting, bro. Genuinely, I have better conversations with grown men than I do with women, bro. So what in the hell is it that you're trying to overcompensate for? It's garbage. These women are vastly and fundamentally insecure. You got to put that in your mind before you can deal with a woman, bro. And that's the problem with today's day and age, bro. The schooling system, everything that we've been brought up, social media and Disney, all brainwashed these guys, bro. Thinking that women are the best thing since sliced bread. Women are just this mystical creature that is so dainty and needs to be protected and things like, no, bro, no. Listen, bro. These women could get you smited out here. You know what I mean? In this modern dating society, bro. And I say that to say this. A woman is more protected on this earth than you are. She has the power to absolutely annihilate your life. Yet, you want to run up behind this woman. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's hear what he's got to say.
It's very easy for them to do it. If you're a woman watching this video, if you're somebody that does go one man at a time and you're you're a good classic woman, I'm not talking.
Bro, yeah, right. Yeah, right. What woman is going one man at a time these days? Get real.
About you. You don't have to argue, but we're talking about the 75 to 80% out there that are doing this. And this is tough because in 2025, in 1999, there is no government or religious institution out there that binds a man and a woman together. Sure, we have marriage, but marriage is a business contract that can be breached and broken at any given moment. Nobody cares. It means very little. It may have sentimental value to you and your family, but in the grand scheme of things, in society, it doesn't mean much. And we're all aware.
Hey guys, if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down for your boy. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. Sorry for all the finicking I'm doing. I feel like crap today, guys. I'm actually sick right now, and my brain is going a whole bunch of other places, you heard me, but nevertheless, let's just keep going. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Aware of this, right? So, love is fleeting. A man and a woman get married, and if that love is disappearing and she's craving it somewhere else, even if the sexual satisfaction is disappearing and she's craving validation, she's craving validation somewhere else. A lot of times she'll just crack open the door a little bit. It's not that she wants to leave, it's not that she wants to cheat, she just wants to crack the door open a little bit and just get a little bit of validation. Problem is, once she does that, again, it's a new guy in the picture, and he's just a normal guy, right? And he sees her as somebody that he could potentially be with. So he's pursuing her. If she likes him and he likes her, she may just leave. Married people probably have more sex than single people, and I'm not talking about with each other. By and large, in the United States, I think married couples have more sex outside of their marriage than single people have, even though they have the freedom to do it. They're just sneaky about it. It's just true, man. It's just true. You ever worked at a company and you kind of see who's hooking up with who?
Yeah, that part is definitely true. Because I've worked in some places when I'm like, yo, I know this chick is married. In fact, your husband picks you up from work every single day. So why is it that you're flirting with every single guy in this joint, including me? Why is it that you're asking me to give me head in the bathroom? You got a whole husband. True story, guys. I was working at a Walmart one time. I was about 23 years old. And there was this lady that she was my team lead, right? I was just a regular associate. And my boss, she was a team lead. Her name was, I'm not even going to say her name. I want to so bad because this chick was just so vile. She offered to take me to the refrigerator, right? This giant refrigerator that held all of the, need to be refrigerated products, such as like, just all the cold stuff that you might find at Walmart. She literally offered to give me head. Like, what? First of all, aren't you married, chick? Absolutely ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous.
I know for a fact right now, if I wanted to get laid, if I wanted to go through my phone and pick somebody to hook up with, the easiest, and I don't mean this, I guess there's no way to say this in like a nice way, but the easiest ones to get with would be married women. They're desperate housewives. They need it bad. And that's what dating does to us, right? That's what not having an institution that holds a man and a woman together, that binds a man and a woman together, not having that causes this, and you can just expect it to take place. So you don't really know if you're the first guy, the last guy, or somewhere in between. You never really have it.
It doesn't matter. It just actually doesn't matter. When you're dealing with modern society, you're not the last. You will never be the last. Not unless the girl dies, God forbid. You're not going to be the last, bro. Let's just keep it real. All right? Or unless y'all are already older, already up there in age, the girl's prime years have already run out. You're not going to be the last guy she dealt with, bro. Plain and simple.
Any clue, right? I've met women who I was attracted to and I would talk to. They may look me up on Messenger or whatever. I don't even ask for the number. We're messaging back and forth for several days or weeks, and I don't find out till a month in that they're married. Right? I've had that happen before. It's an awkward question. When somebody's coming on to you, you don't ask them if they're married. You just assume they're not, right? But they'll do shit like that, and what I want to talk about also is this concept of the 80-20 rule. For those of you that are still here, it's kind of a shift, but it's related to the same topic. A lot of people are robotic about this. They're so systematic, they just take it as a literal term. They think the very top 20% of men, the exact 20% of men at the top, are hooking up with basically all the women. But that's not the way it works. Your competition are the people that are in your bracket. Right now, there's some lady working at Burger King, BBW, smokes cigarettes, greasy ass hair, been wearing the same clothes for the last 3 days, and she's married with 2 kids with the janitor of Springfield High. He's 5'6", damn near anorexic looking, got some good vascularity in his arms though, wears a pair of baggy Wrangler jeans and a sleeveless shirt, and got a set of keys on the side of his hip, pushes the cart around with the mop and the broom and all the cleaning supplies. But in his bracket, he's the alpha. Right, he's the alpha of that bracket. And then you got a bracket way up at the top. You got Tom Brady and Giselle. Physically gifted models, athletes, scholars, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That's a different bracket. Tom Brady's an alpha of that bracket, right? But there's 20 to 30 brackets somewhere in between those two brackets. That's the bottom and the top. And to give you an example of how this works, let's say you got 5 girls and they go to a hotel room and they meet an NBA basketball team, and just the starting 5. On that starting 5, you got the star of the team. He's the fucking superstar. He scores 35 points a game, A-list celebrity, movie star. But then you got 4 role players. All 5 of those women want to hook up with the superstar. He can have all 5 of them at once, and his buddies might get left out. That's the 80-20 rule. Doesn't mean that, I should say, doesn't mean...
Man, forget all these brackets, bro. Forget all these brackets. This is the real, and I'm going to tell you, these women do not care if you're tall, good looking, and you got money, you can get the highest echelon of women. It doesn't matter if you're Tom Brady. Even Tom Brady gets cheated on, bruh. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. But if you're fat, sloppy, broke, live in your mom's basement, you got pizza, pepperoni stains on your shirt and stuff like that, yeah, you in the bottom bracket for sure, all right? So brackets do exist on a very basis level, on a very fundamental level. But when it comes to dealing with 10s, 9s, straight drop dead gorgeous women, get out of here, bruh. Get out of here, man. Man, listen, there's been times I had no money in my pocket at all. And I'm bagging the baddest bitches, bro. Straight up. It's the truth. Why? Because I got that swag. And I will say that I am gifted, all right? I am on the tall side. I am muscular. I am what they call a Tyrone. Whatever. Just get in the gym, get in shape, take care of yourself. You don't even got to be tall, bro. Go date you a shorter female. She's not, bro, let me keep it G with you. I'm 6'4". Females under like 5'5", they be scared of me, bro, because they be saying I'm too tall. Don't get me wrong. I still be, you know what I mean? They still like me or whatever, but a lot of the time, they'll tell me, oh my gosh, you're so tall, like, oh, you're too tall. You know what I mean? I know for a fact a girl that's like 5 foot will be fine with a guy that's like 5'6". So you don't gotta be tall, you don't gotta be ultra jacked, you don't gotta be nothing, bro. Just go to the gym, be in decent shape, keep your body fat percentage low, have a decent job, take care of yourself, wash your body, brush your teeth, wear clean clothes. You're fucking good, bro. You're good. Dating is not that hard. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, bro, talking about brackets and stuff. Like, I get it. I get the concept and stuff like that, bro, but let's just be realistic here. This is Nico Fleeks, the Warrior King. I'm getting ready to hit the gym myself, but I will be doing a video of my own version of modern dating. And it might be more brutal than this guy. I might come a little bit more brutal, but guess what? My version is the best version on YouTube, guys. All right? So let's carry on this game. Let's get it going and let's better ourselves, guys. Again, my name is Nico Fleeks, the Warrior King, and I appreciate you for joining me. Tap that like button, tap that subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a comment down for your boy. I cannot wait to hear y'all thoughts. Anyway, I'm gone. Oosh!